Good morning or evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Midweek Gaming. Today, I will immediately inform you Nick is not here at the moment because he is currently being social with other individuals and is currently unavailable. But that is perfectly fine because he has provided me with the resources I require, and those resources being a singular news article about what? About what? Nintendo. Ladies and gentlemen, Nintendo has a new Switch coming out. That being, sit down, prepare yourself. The Switch 2. Oh boy. Right off the bat, I'd have to say it's actually a little funny how Nintendo is actually following the original console naming convention of, you've got console name 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very interesting because all things considered, you've got Xbox that went from the Xbox to the Xbox 360 to the Xbox X and the Xbox. It's interesting, and then you got PlayStation all the way to PlayStation 5. It's it's a little interesting, but nonetheless, please please sit back, relax, and I'm gonna go over some of the key information regarding Nintendo's Switch 2 release. More specifically, the reveal. See, apparently, it's rumored as of right now, as well as Nintendo kind of pushing some of these rumors a little bit. It's claimed that Nintendo will be going and showcasing the Switch 2 at a presentation at Gamescom 2023. So that is in about a month in August, around, I believe it was the 23rd, around that time. So stay tuned for that if you are wanting to keep up to date with Nintendo Switch news, and specifically the Nintendo Switch 2, a presentation for it, apparently. That will be taking place exactly about next month at Gamescom. So stay tuned for that because we might be going over this again later. As of right now, it is reported that the Nintendo Switch will be more powerful at, and this is what this article says, as well as what Nick has told me. The Nintendo Switch will be more powerful, specifically being able to run a game at 4K resolution, 60 frames per second. So, basically edging towards the same kind of strength that you would get from modern day large consoles or even gaming computers. So we will definitely see what Nintendo has planned for that. As of right now, it's rumored that at the showcase they're going to be showing a updated version of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and apparently they're going to be having it run at 4K resolution at 60 frames per second, and we will be going and seeing exactly how this performs and how it holds up. As of right now, the Nintendo Switch 2, one of the biggest things that people are very interested in hearing about when it comes to Nintendo is there going to be backwards compatibility? Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is reported that there is going to be backwards compatibility. Isn't that fascinating? Let me get into that real quick. So basically, Nintendo goes and says that we're gonna have backwards compatibility with Nintendo Switch games to Nintendo Switch 2. For obvious reasons, this is a very, very good move, mainly due to the fact that although sure you could separate the games for the two consoles, that would make things very difficult for some people in certain regards and would be a little annoying for many more people, including the many people who are wanting to play old Nintendo games but either need to do things in a very interesting way or have to go and find a old console that doesn't get made anymore. So if you want to play those old Nintendo games, you gotta have to go and whip out the old Nintendo 64 or the you know all those old consoles that I can't remember the name at the moment. Nonetheless, Nintendo has reported that they will have backwards compatibility. So if you are indeed interested in going and playing one of the games that you've had for the first Switch, you will apparently be able to play it on the Nintendo Switch too, with a better processing, RAM, and graphics. So that is immediately a pretty good bonus for some people. So that is a substantial thing to note for anyone who is interested in going and playing the Nintendo Switch and specifically would like to see and think to themselves and hoping that when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, they'll actually be able to go and play the games that they have already purchased, as well as, let's say, they already have a game like Animal Crossing and they would like to go and continue their game just on the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, you will, as of right now, be able to do that. So, that is an extremely good plus for the Nintendo Switch. Backwards compatibility has not been Nintendo's strongest suit for quite a while. So it is amazing to see that Nintendo is definitely considering to go and provide users with the means to have backwards compatibility. So, besides that, what do we have going on right now for Nintendo? Well, like I said, there's the rumor, so keep most of this with a grain of salt. There's a chance some of it might not be true, but right now, what is being reported, both a multitude of rumors as well as some little subtle hints from Nintendo here and there, it is claimed that the uh, the Nintendo Switch 2 will be able to have some form of backwards compatibility, allowing people to play their old Nintendo Switch games out on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, this is there's that. Again, it's claimed that the Nintendo Switch will be more powerful than current generation consoles. So that it was claimed that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be more powerful, and I quote, than Xbox. Let's see here. Xbox Series X, I believe. Yep, Xbox Series X. Oh, S, not X, S. So apparently it'll be stronger than the Xbox Series S. So there is that. To how much power this is going to have, I do not know exactly. All I know as of right now is that the Nintendo Switch is reportedly going to be powerful in a couple different regards, specifically quoting RAM being one of the biggest improvements compared to the first Nintendo Switch. So I believe in that regards, um, it is likely that Nintendo has likely had some problems, and I could see it for a small handheld console trying to run the same type of games big consoles and computers run. Um, Very well likely having problems going and dealing with RAM and the whole multitude of problems that that will provide. So it is likely that the new console is going to be able to handle more powerful games that require more processing, more more overall requirements. Will be kind of not as much of a worry for Nintendo Switch players, because I would very well be willing to bet that a lot of people who've played the Nintendo Switch have played semi decent, powerful like games requiring semi high specs and likely have run across a multitude of problems occasionally here and there. Um, let alone likely the fact that it, even if the Switch can handle it, it likely goes and drains a fair amount of battery because it does require a lot of energy in order to provide the processing that which that person would require and need. So it'll be interesting. I mean, as of right now, like I said, a lot of this is rumor. We don't particularly have a whole lot of information as to what exactly the specs are going to be, what exactly the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have to offer people. There's really very, very little to go off of at the moment. Like I said, there is reported to be a showcase within by next month. So by then, Nintendo is very well likely going to be going and providing a proper showcase as as to what the Nintendo Switch has to offer, what the Nintendo Switch 2 will provide, and what is basically the biggest draws that'll likely be Nintendo's driving point to go and get users to use the Nintendo Switch 2 over the current Nintendo Switch. So, again, we'd have to sit tight, stay tuned for that. But as of right now, it does look like Nintendo is very well likely working to deal with the aforementioned problems that the Nintendo Switch likely has had over its lifespan thus far. That being, like I said, the chances that it has been a little difficult to run games that require high levels of processing power and high requirements, likely due to the fact that those games just require an overall larger amount of energy and processing in order to handle being played and in order for players to actually enjoy those games. So we will we will have to see what exactly is entail for us when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. But that is basically it. I'm practically just rambling at this point, but I just wanted to go and provide you a update on what Nintendo is planning because it is um, fairly substantial. The fact that at least in regards to backwards compatibility, Nintendo has considered to actually decide to allow for backwards compatibility. That is a very interesting choice that Nintendo has decided to make as to why they've decided to make the choice to do backwards compatibility. I'm not going to question it because everyone likes backwards compatibility and being able to play the games that they played on one console just on another. I don't know about you, but I, for one, definitely enjoy that and will not be questioning it. So there is that. Um, but if you do have thoughts of your own in regards to the Nintendo Switch 2 and the rumors and any announcements that Nintendo has made, if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to give it in the comments below. Share your feedback. Again, like I said, Nick was unavailable, but we did go and get a little bit of news here for you. Um, Apologies for it not being overly too substantial or too amazing or anything, but there wasn't really a whole lot going on this week, and it's pretty quiet. But like I said, there is Gamescom coming up next month, so by then it is very well likely that there will be more gaming news by then. But until then, hopefully you did enjoy this for what it was worth. A small bit of news providing to you by me and informing you on some of Nintendo's plans, at least in the moment. So there is that for you. I will, before I leave, give you a quick update now that as of currently, both me and Nick are in college again. There's a chance that we have likely talked about this already, but I'm going to just properly state it here. Uh, Chances are that we are going to be a little inconsistent with our days and times on when our videos come out. likely due to the fact that we have a little bit of conflicting schedules when it comes to our the days that we are able to record together and do a newscast together and everything. So chances are we might be slightly inconsistent with it, but we will definitely be doing what we can to we'll be doing what we can um, to go and make sure that something does come out every week. Um, Albeit that there might be the occasional week where something just small comes out instead of super big news. But again, like I said, it has been fairly quiet, and I'd be willing to bet as of right now the reason why it is so quiet is likely due to the fact that Gamescom is pretty much right around the corner. So chances are that we're not going to be getting any big news just yet until Gamescom by next month. So for right now, like I said, stay up to date, stay tuned. Chances are, once when the big events start coming through, you're going to see a lot more news coming through for different games. Not to mention the fact that as of right now, we're kind of at the part of the year where instead of hearing about new games, we're mostly going to start seeing already talked about games and up and coming games that we're about to release are releasing. So chances are we're kind of at that part of the year where we're going to be seeing more releases rather than up and coming games. We might see the occasional up and coming game for the next few events, but I'd be willing to bet as of right now, chances are we're going to be seeing more about more released games rather than anything else. But again, that is practically it for me today. There's nothing much more to say other than rambling, so I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully, you did enjoy this for what it was worth, and hopefully, you are interested, if you are, in Nintendo Switch 2 and what Nintendo has to offer all the users who have enjoyed the Switch over its lifespan thus far. And if you are interested in going and figuring out and finding anything new about the Nintendo Switch, make sure you either stay tuned for here at the midweek gaming, because we will very well likely be going over it after Gamescom, or just keep up to date with Gamescom, because there's likely going to be a live stream for it. And that will be happening exactly next month on. I will actually check it right now for you. Gamescom will be exactly between Wednesday, August 23rd to Sunday, August 27th. So that is the time window if you are interested in watching or going, if you are able to get your hands on a ticket to Gamescom. That is the time in which Gamescom is taking place. So stay tuned for that, because that is very well likely when we will be going and releasing another video about up and coming games, up and coming content, and again, little things like what Nintendo is doing, going and releasing a brand new console. So, once again, hopefully you enjoyed, and this has been me, Justin, signing off from Midweek Gaming for this week. Have a good night, everyone.